I managed a 600,000 acre forest in Washington State that belonged to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the Yakima Nation. And then I eventually retired from the National Park Service as a river conservationist. Well, the people who promoted the Forest Service and brought it into establishment were real visionaries. They knew that forests equal water. And you have to have forests if you're going to have continuous water supply. And in setting aside what they call the forest reserves, which are now known as the national forests, they occupy in the Southwest 14% of the land area, but they comprise 40% of the watershed and water supply. What happens when you denude, take the forest vegetation off? The rains come down and they just roll right off. And so the forest, the main thing is to slow down the absorption of water, to let it get into the groundwater, eventually into the aquifer for storage and use. And so you need some sort of vegetation to do that. And the Forest Service believes that they are responsible for getting use out of the forest, to utilize the forest. And I get that. So I get that the Forest Service is into logging, getting wood out and so forth, and grazing, making sure, the grasslands are used for cattle. And if there happen to be mineral resources, well, I can see, well, yes, sure, get the mineral resources out. The thing that I don't understand is how they feel they can do these things and degrade and destroy the resource that they're committed to protect. So if you can use the resource in a way that it's there for the future, a sustained yield, so to speak, then sure, and that's your job. I cannot explain why the Forest Service is so intent on believing that the mining should take precedence over all the other protective resource legislation that we have. And they claim that they have no legal right to stop a mine from going. And my training in forestry and my knowledge of the legislation is that you can't do surface mining without destroying or damaging the forest resources.